The recording began with a severe warning for stress responses. Observer scribe Marek Talvin sat in the high gallery of the tribunal. His throat patches pulsed a panicked red beneath his tight collar. The conclave chamber was entirely silent. Fleet Master Vex stood alone at the wooden witness stand. The Korvathi conqueror was missing his heavy campaign plate. He wore a ragged gray survivor suit. His left eye wept a thin, clear fluid. He did not wipe the fluid away. No armor, no pride, no victory. What I heard that day in the tribunal chamber changed the history of our galaxy forever. 12 hours before the hearing, the crown of Ethilgard smelled of sharp chemicals and old iron. The enormous assembly room held the leaders of 400 different species. The white stone walls were lined with tall statues of ancient founders. Vex stood at the exact center of the round floor. He was 2.5 meters tall. His thick scales shined in the bright ceiling light. 14 battle ribbons hung from the thick hair on his neck. He was a living hero to his proud people. He did not ask the council for favors. He took what he wanted. Sector 99 is a total waste of space, Vex announced. His low voice shook the floor panels under their feet. The old texts say it belongs to the Terran people. That is just a ghost story. We use it to scare young pilots in training. I am ordering a total erasure of the zone. Up in the dark gallery, Elder Salarai touched the glass stone at her neck. She was from the Realoi people. She was frail and very old, with entirely black eyes. Her people kept the old records. "You are charting a course into a graveyard," she warned him, "and the graves are not empty." Vex laughed at her warning. The sound echoed off the high crystal roof. The rest of the council agreed with him. The erasure order was approved in 12 short minutes. Vex took his heavy war fleet out right away. 45 huge ships jumped toward the edge of Sector 99. The rule was simple out here in the dark. The strong made the borders. Vex wanted a brand new travel lane for his supply lines. He was going to carve it straight through the dead space. His ships were painted in bright bronze and violet colors. Their main energy weapons were charged to full power. They wanted to show off for the core worlds. 60 light-years away, Commander Sila's Ren sat in a very dark room. Station Meridian was a tiny listening post hidden on the edge of a thick dust cloud. He had been there for 23 long years. He had not seen another human face in 8 months. The small base was quiet. The low hum of the air system was his only company. Ren spun a scuffed copper ring on his left thumb. He watched the main tactical screen. The station sensors chimed loudly in the quiet room. It was a harsh and steady ping. It was the first time that alarm had gone off in 2 full decades. 45 red dots showed up on the far edge of the sector map. Analyst Jenkins looked up from her small desk. She had a faded picture of a yellow wheat field taped to her screen. They crossed the line. "Yes," Ren said. His face did not move at all. He reached for a dented steel thermos on his desk. It was scratched in 23 different places. He had made one mark for each year of his long watch. He unscrewed the metal lid with the same care another man might use holstering a loaded gun. Vex sent his demands on all open radio channels. Sector 99 is now Korvathi space. Any ships we find will be sold for scrap metal. You have exactly 60 minutes to leave the area. Ren took a slow sip from the thermos. The water inside was very cold. He set the metal cup down on the desk. "Should we sound the general alarm?" Jenkins asked him. She kept her hands on her control board. "No," Ren told her. "Let's not spoil their big surprise." He leaned over his command keyboard. He typed an exact 16-digit code. He hit the send key with one finger. Deep inside the cold shadow of Jupiter, a hidden place woke up. They called it the Tartarus Vault. It was a giant asteroid with the center completely dug out. It had been sealed tight for 3 long centuries. Inside the dark rock, a massive shape let go of its heavy metal chains. On the bridge of his lead ship, Vex watched the thick dust cloud ahead. His forward scout sent a panicked radio burst. Massive gravity shift on the scanners. It looks like a new star is forming. The scout channel turned to dead static right after that. Charge all plasma batteries, Vex ordered his bridge crew. He was not afraid of gravity problems. He had won 14 hard wars. Give me full ceremonial power. We fire at the very first target that shows up on the screen. The dust cloud tore open. The target finally appeared in the dark. It was not a fleet of small, fast ships. It was a single machine. 7 kilometers of black composite armor pushed out of the deep dust. It weighed 800,000 tons. The massive ship blocked out the light from the distant stars. It had no flags. It sent out no radio signals. It just moved closer. Vex stared at the huge view screen. His breathing got very heavy. Fire. 45 heavy cruisers opened up at the exact same time. White-hot plasma crossed the empty space. The intense fire slammed hard into the black hull of the Terran War Titan. The bright energy simply shattered. It broke like cheap glass hitting a thick stone wall. The extreme heat splashed away into the cold void. The black armor did not even get warm. The Titan did not fire back right away. It just kept moving forward. It pushed right into the middle of the Corvathi formation. Back in the silent tribunal room, Vex grabbed the edges of the wooden stand. His sharp claws dug deep into the white stone. Talvin watched the broken leader shake with pure fear. It was not a normal ship, Vex whispered to the frozen crowd. It was a whole continent that had learned how to fly. Every single inch of it was a weapon. Vex told them about the first real shot. The Titan opened a single door on its lower belly. It fired a solid metal slug the size of a tall building. There was no bright laser beam. The flash from the huge gun did not look like normal light. It looked like gravity itself, pressed tight and then let go. The heavy slug hit the lead cruiser. The bronze ship vanished, not exploded, not broken, just gone. Where 4,000 Corvathi troops had been standing, there was only a mist of gray iron floating in space. The Titan moved through the fleet like a man walking through tall grass. It did not aim for the hot engines. It aimed for the main spines and the command decks. Every single shot was perfect. It did not waste one piece of ammo. It moved with cold and terrifying purpose. I told my ships to scatter, Vex told the quiet room. He sounded like he was choking on his own words. I told them to run away. I told them to give up. The Titan ignored all 3 choices. It was not fighting a normal war. It was fixing a bad mistake. In 8 minutes, Vex had 45 ships. In 9 minutes, he had only 1. His own ship drifted alone in a sea of fresh metal pieces. The huge black ship turned around and went back into the thick dust cloud. A single audio message clicked on over his ruined speakers. You erased us from your maps. We kept ourselves in your stars. The conclave assembly stayed completely still. No leader spoke a word. Talvin felt his throat burn red under his tight collar. For 12,000 years, this room had run the entire galaxy. Now, that fake dream was dead forever. Senator Krell sat in the front row. His long tail rested flat against the hard floor. It was a sign of total giving up. His people only did that at funerals. The conclave did not vote to strike back at the humans. They voted to mark Sector 99 as a permanent dead zone. They took back the erasure order, but they did not put the Terran name back on the official map. They just left a completely blank space there. Up in the high gallery, Elder Salarai stood up. She stepped down. She left the crystal. She walked away. The forbidden glass stone rested on the edge of the wooden stand. Vex did not look at the shiny stone. He stared at the small evidence table nearby. An empty steel thermos sat right in the center. The rescue teams had found it floating near the broken pieces of Station Meridian. He saw the deep scratches on the metal side. The man who drank from that cup had never been afraid. He had only been waiting.